and welcome to the 1998 French Grand Prix from Magny-Cours in France. Now, I have to be honest with you, I am not looking forward to this race at all. As I said last year, this is one of the tracks I do not like the most, and as you're going to see in this video, it just exemplifies it. I had trouble in F197, I had trouble in this game, I also had quite a bit of trouble with, to an extent, on F1 Grid Challenge that I've been playing ahead. As a matter of fact, the only time that I've got any sort of success in any game on this track would probably be Codemasters race driver games. But even still, it's a track that I don't like, and I think a lot of people will attest to that as well. That's all I've heard. Anyway, getting to it quickly, in the real life, pretty uneventful race, although Michael Schumacher won the race, followed by Eddie Irvine, making this Ferrari's first 1-2 finish since the Spanish Grand Prix of 1990. Back then it was Alain Prost and Nigel Mansell driving. Rounding out the top three is Mika Hakkinen. He started, I think, on pole, but fell back as the race went on. I think because he was trying to do an ambitious move on Irvine, because Michael Schumacher got out ahead and Irvine was blocking Hakkinen. The only other talking point of this race was the replacement of Jan Magnussen in Stewart by Jos Verstappen. Verstappen's going to be driving the second Stewart for the rest of the year. Okay, with that done, as I said, it was very quick. Looking at the Drivers' Championship now, Mika Hakkinen is well in the lead on 50 points after scoring his third win in a row in Canada. He's only 14 points behind myself. At this point, both of us have been the most consistent. Well, myself, Hakkinen, and Schumacher have been the most consistent driver, and Coulthard has been the most consistent drivers all season. But Hakkinen has had a lot more success, and myself, Schumacher, and Coulthard are just battling out for second place with only 5 points in between us three. So we'll see how this will develop this race. Following behind Coulthard, we've got Eddie Irvine, a little bit further back on 11 points, but still scored for pretty much every single race of the season except for Brazil. Following behind them, we got Untitled Chapter, the only point scorer for Williams, on 10 points, after scoring 2 fifth places in Monaco and Canada. And then rounding out the top 10, we have got Jean Alesi, Damon Hill, and Jarno Trulli. And yeah, everyone else has yet to score, although looking at Giancarlo Fisichella, he should be scoring his first points quite soon. And now in the Constructors' Championship, McLaren Mercedes up way in the lead on 81 points, at 35 points ahead of Ferrari. So I have serious doubts that nobody's going to be touching Mercedes for the end, McLaren for the end of the year, which will see them get their first Drivers' Championship in over 5 years. I think 1991, Senna. Not sure. Benetton is still on 36 points. I've been the only point scorer for Benetton, so if Giancarlo was scoring point finishes, we'll probably be up to where Ferrari is. Williams are on 10 points, the exact same number of points as Frentzen, the only point scorer for Williams. And then rounding out the point scoring positions, we've got Sauber Petronas on 5 points, thanks to Jean Alesi. Jordan Mugen Honda on 3 points, thanks to Damon Hill, and 1 point to Prost Peugeot, thanks to Jarno Trulli. Okay, now looking at the grid for the French Grand Prix now, we got Michael Schumacher on pole, followed by David Coulthard with 1:11.821. Coulthard's got a 1:11.834, so 0.013 seconds behind Schumacher, so a very close race there. Even closer to Mika Hakkinen. He's starting on the second row with Eddie Irvine, just 0.25 seconds behind Schumacher. And this quite a close battle division of times is extended throughout the whole top 10, but as you can see, I'm not in the list. Well, obviously, this year France has been a bugger to me, so I'm starting all the way down in 18th place, which we'll get to in a minute. But anyway, rounding out the top 10 starters, we've got Untitled Frentzen, Jean Alesi on the third row, and Damon Hill, Giancarlo Fisichella, my teammate. He did a good time of 1:12.966, so not too bad there. Followed by Johnny Herbert and Ralph Schumacher. Following down behind, we get to the crew again. Mika Salo qualifies 13th, so that's not a bad result. Also to Esteban Tuero, 14th place, so that's not too bad for the Argentinian rookie. And as we go back to the back of the pack, there is Kent Levin, 2.135 seconds behind Schumacher. So very disappointing qualifying, and he's got a lot of work for him if he wants to get into the top 10, because I think that's going to be the most likely he's going to finish up. And rounding out the grid, Toru Takagi, Olivier Panis, still in 20 points, still having a dreadful year for Prost. And then Shinji Nakano in the Minardi and Riccardo Rossi perennially behind in the Tyrrell. Okay, here we go, the starting grid for the French Grand Prix, and oh my goodness, look at all the traffic in front. It's going to be very tricky first couple of meters as I get off the start line, not too bad, but try not to crash into the line. Oh, I'm going outside, going inside of Lodcars, 12, 11th place, and I'm behind one of the Jordans as I collide into one of the Salvas after trying very hard not to crash into him. Obviously that failed. And looking up ahead, we got a Williams. I'm assuming the Jacques Villeneuve, if you consider that Francis should be right up ahead. And as you can see, all the drivers are pulling away. So I started in 11th place, so I've gone up 7 positions, which isn't too bad. But as it would be at the start of the race. So we're coming to Adelaide now for the first time. Slow down. Oh, I've crashed into the back of Villeneuve. Not a very good way to start the race. But I get away cleanly. As we bow down the straight to the Nürburgring chicane. 4th gear, not too bad. Now I'm coming to 180 degrees. I've always find this tricky because it's not too bad. Then it tightens up quickly as I run into the back of Villeneuve again. What's wrong with me? And I lose a bit of traction coming out of the corner. And I'm ahead of one of the arrows now. And Villeneuve in the pack, I can't even see them anymore. This is pathetic. We're coming to Imola now. This road is a bit tricky because it dips left and right. Really easy to stabilize the car. Now coming to Chateau d'Eau, another corner which gets me all the time. Now coming to the final chicane. Another section that gets me, but these days not so much. Then we get to the last corner, Lycée. Coming across the start finish line, Coulthard, Schumacher, Hakkinen, Irvine, Alesi, and Heinz-Held Frenz. So yes, it was Villeneuve that I'm having trouble with. As we can see here, I'm 2.81 seconds behind him. I haven't seen a car like that since 97, when I'm almost lead, like the Japanese Grand Prix or something. Not to worry, I can still just see Villeneuve and one of the Jordans ahead, so we should be able to catch him relatively soon as we come to Adelaide now. I've caught up to Villeneuve, so that's one relief, although I'm a little bit concerned about my engine amp because I'm pushing it quite hard as I'm pushing it down the main straightaway. So hopefully that should not be too bad for me as I come to Nürburgring now. Hopefully I should be able to finish this race because I think that's a bit of a priority. I want to finish this race at least. Yes, what I can see ahead of me, I got Jacques Villeneuve, then ahead of him is Damon Hill, and I think in front of him is my teammate Jean-Carlos Gicala. Could be wrong though. Damn und blast! Remember what I was saying about engine problems coming down the main straight? Well, obviously it blew me out there, so DNF again. Well then again, considering I had a bad qualifying session and things weren't going right, I think there might have been the coup de grace for me. I seriously did not want to finish it. So it looks like how I first raced on this track back when I first played F1 Career Challenge, eh? Well, I'm glad it's over though. I'm going to focus on the next race. Anyway, as you see the results, David Coulthard takes his first win of the season, I believe. Yes, his first win of the season, followed by Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen. So Mika Hakkinen extends his Drivers' Championship, but Michael Schumacher would not be too far behind. Yeah, he would actually be overtaking me. In fact, both of them will be overtaking me. Not a good race for me. Followed behind them, Eddie Irvine, Jean Alesi, and Heinz-Held Frenzen. So more points to Williams and Sauber there. And even more for Ferrari, with Eddie Irvine scoring an extra 3 points in addition to Michael Schumacher's 6. So with that, looking at the Drivers' Championship, I'm all the way down in 3rd place. Mika Hakkinen is on 54 points now. Followed by David Coulthard and Michael Schumacher, both drawing on 41 points. So they're both 30 points behind Mika Hakkinen. But me, 28 points. No, 19? 18. Whatever. I'm a distance behind Mika Hakkinen. So I really need to get my butt into gear in the second half of the season to, if I have any hopes of catching up both Hakkinen and Coulthard. Following behind me, we got Eddie Irvine on 14 points, so his 3 points have seen him push ahead of Heinz-Held Frenzen. I think overtaking Frenzen, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. No, or whatever. And rounding out the point scoring positions, in 6th place, Jean Alesi with 7 points, scoring, I think, 2 extra points this race, then followed by Damien Hill on 3 points, not scoring yet again, and then Jarno Trulli not scoring again since Australia. And now with the Constructors' Championship, McLaren Mercedes 40-point lead over Ferrari. So, yeah, I'm thinking that in the next couple of races, we'll expect McLaren to host up the Constructors' Championship quite well. And Ferrari themselves have got a really good gap over Benetton Playlife, being just only 19 points ahead of Benetton. So Benetton, if they want to catch up, they need to win a few races. But then again, we need Giancarlo to score some points if we want to catch Ferrari, and I don't see that happening for the rest of the season with this predictable nature of this game. Rounding out the point scoring positions, Sauber Petronas on 7 points, Jordi Mugen Honda on 3, and Prost on 1. So there we have the French Grand Prix for 1998. Not a very successful one, but now that it's over, we can focus on the next race. I hope you guys all enjoyed this race, and I'll see you guys in the next round in Britain. Thank goodness.